Yo, 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 what is going on, my beautiful brothers and sisters, fellow radiators of love? My name is Jamal Pope, aka J Phoenix, and this is going to be your daily astrology horoscope for Tuesday, December 10th of 2024. I appreciate you all joining me in this video and trusting that you guys are having a wonderful start to your week. Let's go ahead and hop into it, see what we got going on for this week, for this day here on Tuesday, on Mars Day. See how you can be better prepared to navigate these celestial energies. Well, we do have that sun that's going to shift to 19 degrees of Sagittarius today. It's going to happen rather early in the daytime, actually. So I'm going to go ahead and just show you guys that right here. Yep, it's going to hit it really early. Talking around 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, right? So it's going to begin to trine over to this Chiron here at 19 degrees. Now, why is this significant? Not only is it a trine, right? But 19 degrees is the exaltation of the sun. 19 degrees of Aries, to be exact. This is where the sun finds a great amount of its strength, its exaltation. And Chiron is there right now. So the sun trining the spot means that it can bring some healing to this area, especially when it comes to knowing who we are and expressing who we are. But it's about like whether or not we can really put that vision out there. It might be a little bit difficult with Mercury here as well with Sagittarius, right? And what's interesting is that the moon is actually going to be joining up with this, but we're going to be feeling it more from the Chiron side, not the sun side. So, you know, the sun, this isn't like the rarest transit because the sun trines its exaltation twice a year, whenever it goes into Leo, whenever it goes into Sag. Now, the likelihood of a planet being there is a whole nother story. When the sun was in Leo, Chiron was at like 15, I think it's like a 20-something degrees, right? Now, during the eclipse that happened earlier this year, it was actually on the exalted degree. So 19 degrees has been hit multiple times this year. So I think it's interesting that once again, we do get this energy right here where, like I said, that moon is going to hit 19 degrees and kind of rehashes the, new moon solar eclipse that happened in Aries earlier this year with Chiron there. The moon, remember, the moon also rules over memory, right? Because it is water. It does rule over memory. And with Chiron there, it could definitely be bringing up some sore wounds or some things that we need to face. But like I said, Chiron is also the source. We can use it to find our superpowers, our unique superpowers. And the sun trining the spot, being in Sag, it's about, can you believe in yourself again? Regardless of what's happened in the past, regardless of what has transpired, can you believe in yourself? Now, we do have, like I said, Mercury here with the sun at 8 degrees, right? It's coming back and getting ready to trine this Mars here at 6 degrees. It's regionally retrograde. And, of course, we do have Venus that's getting ready to oppose this Mars as well. So Tuesday is definitely an interesting day. I think the main thing is that sun trining over to that moon with Chiron there. Like I said, we do have this, Jupiter making the aspect over to Pluto that I've been talking about pretty much all week. This is the, Sesqui, hold on, Sesqui square. Yeah. Or Sesqui quadrant. I guess that's another way to put it, a Sesqui quadrant. So it is the angle between the trine and the quincunx. So we can even just read this, right? Tensions arise as you struggle to achieve your goals. It seems as though other people and external events are deliberately plotting to thwart your every move. However, it may be that you are going overboard in your attempts to get your own way. The trouble is that you want to make great changes in your life, but all your attempts are frustrated. You would be wise to muster as much restraint as possible. It's kind of interesting. And of course, with Mars added here, Mars being here in Leo, opposing this Pluto, opposing this Venus, it adds more frustration because Mars wants to move fast and get things going. And that's probably what it feels like right now. Like your attempts are thwarted. Like things are moving slower. Things are a little bit frustrating right now. But that's just kind of where we are right now. We're not in a time to move fast and get things going. We're not really. The fastest planet right now is Venus, outside, of course, the moon, right? So the fastest planet is Venus, and Venus is going to retrograde in Pisces. So Venus is not going to go that much further. It's not going to go that much further, right? And yeah, Mercury is this retrograde. It's moving through its retrograde pretty quickly here, right? Chiron's getting ready to come forward, right? But Mars is retrograde, Venus is about to retrograde. Sun's moving. I mean, Saturn's moving forward, but it's slow. Neptune's moving forward, but it's slow. So there's not really like a ton of energy that's like, get up and go. Let's go do this thing. Let's make it happen. Let's force it to happen. There are times where you can just kind of make things happen. There are other times like now where you have to just kind of ride it out. You have to ride out the energy. You have to observe things as they come up, observe your emotions as they come up, observe your reactions as they come up. You got to remember that the moon in Aries is very, very reactive, especially with Chiron. That's triggering a lot. It's triggering the new moon solar eclipse that we had, and the sun just happens to be trining it. It's definitely going to trigger that point. And it's just something that we need to take into consideration, right? So, you know, just, that's the main thing. Like, and it always comes back to the sun. 1 + 9 is 10 and reduces back to 1. Anything with a 9 reduces back to that number. So this reduces back to 1, and 1 is the sun in numerology, right? So it comes back to, what makes you happy? What sparks your creativity? What are you passionate about? What do you love? What can you laugh about? This is a time that we have to remind ourselves to laugh at things. We have to remind ourselves to have light with things. We have to remind ourselves to have fun with things, even if things aren't going exactly the way that we want, even if the timing seems off, even though things may seem a little frustrating right now. We got to be able to have fun with this energy. We got to learn how to be able to laugh at the energy. We have to be able to even laugh at the absurdity, because there's a lot of weird, absurd things about it. I mean, we all can feel it, right? Saturn and Neptune in Pisces, they're getting ready to meet, but they're not going to meet in Pisces. They're going to meet in Aries, right? So now we have to do a Pluto in Aquarius for the next 19 years, right? It's weird having Jupiter in Gemini and then Mercury and Sag, so they're like opposing each other. Mars is moving slow as fuck. The nodes are about to shift. That's another thing that's coming. The nodes are getting ready to shift as well. So there's a lot of energy that's closing out, and there's a lot of new energy that's going to begin, right? Especially with all these outer planets getting ready to shift into other signs. Pluto's already made the shift, right? Neptune's getting ready to make the shift. And Uranus will make the shift, right? So just understand that, sometimes the wheels take a little bit longer to turn, and, we have to be okay with, the timing of everything. So I think today can be a positive day with this moon on Chiron and the sun trining it. It definitely can trigger some of those Chiron issues, especially when it comes to the way that we express ourselves and simply be who we are. Especially if we try to overly force it, especially if we try to ram our way through, regardless of how the people may feel, regardless of the situation, regardless of the facts too. We can't forget about the facts here, right? We can't just go solely off belief and ideals and what idealistically we would want or like to have. There are still facts that we have to take into consideration here. So just, keep that in mind for a day like today. Anyone that has planets around these spots are definitely going to be, a bit more triggered and stuff like that. I think, especially energy like this too, like, just be wary of, like, honestly all week, but just be wary of, like, traffic, delays, road rage, especially with Mars dispositing this conjunction and the sun happens to be trining it and the sun is dispositing this Mars. Just, it's like, people are like, I want it my way and I want it now. And having that mentality is just not gonna fly right now. Just being honest. So it's not that the answers aren't going to come or that you even have some answers. I think it's just that, like, maybe you're fed a little bit at a time. I think people want the entire enchilada right now, when really we're just being given a part of the enchilada, and you can't have the entire enchilada right now. It's like we're getting a bit of an appetizer, but people want the full course meal. And we gotta appreciate the appetizer. We gotta appreciate the entirety of this meal. There's no need to rush right into the full course meal. There's no need to rush right into the main dish. There's no need to rush the preparation time of the steak, this metaphorical steak of life. Give it time to cook. Give it time to rest. Don't overcook it though. We don't like well done. But you know what I'm saying. So, hopefully you guys are picking up what I'm putting down here. But yeah, I say just have fun with the energy. Learn to find a reason to laugh things off if you need to. Mars is in Leo. This is about can you laugh at things? Can you find the comedy in things? Can you find the humor in things? Can you smile about things, even though things seem a little bit weird? Can you make it through it? It's not you denying your emotions or denying the way that you feel or trying to hide something. It's just sometimes you gotta laugh at the absurdity of life, because life is kind of crazy sometimes, right? I mean, we all can feel it, right? Sometimes you just gotta laugh it off. I think that's what a day like today can really help to teach us. So let's hop into the cards. Let's see what we got going on there. Let's see what we got. All right. I have the Fool card in reverse. You know what? You know the way I'm interpreting this? We can always look at our life. People can look at you and say, oh, you're being a fool for going for that thing, or you're being a fool for going for that thing. Usually when this card in reverse, this is like you walking off a cliff, even though you know that there's no trampoline down there and stuff like that. But I'm honestly seeing this as we got to be able to look at our past mistakes, because that's what the moon is going to be more focused on. It's going to be more focused on the past, especially with Chiron here, right? The sun's trining it, and this is triggering that new moon solar eclipse. It's about looking back on the past and like, I can't believe I actually did that thing. You got to be able to laugh it off. It's like, wow, I can't believe. You may even cringe a little bit about thinking about the things that you might have used to do, or the things that you might have used to believe and stuff. But you got to be able to look at those things and laugh. You got to be able to look at those things like, wow, look how far I've come. You got to be able to look at those answers like, wow, I'm glad I got out of that situation. And just, don't be too hard on yourself. Ultimately, the Fool card, whether it's upright or reverse, it's about being light on your feet and not being too hard on yourself. It's just whether or not you're kind of you're following your heart, or maybe you're following someone else's idea for you, or someone else's carved out path for you. That's when walking off the cliff kind of yields to weird places, because there may not be a trampoline down there or pillows to kind of cushion your fall or whatever have you. Now in this case, it shows Ariel, like the Little Mermaid, right? So she gave up her voice, which she was an amazing singer, so she gave up her singer voice just to get this dude, right? This dude that barely even knew her and fall in love and all this sort of stuff like that. So but she still went after what she wanted. And even though it didn't go exactly the way that she wanted it to go, even though she did have to go through some troubling times and learn some lessons, she ultimately came out better than she probably could have ever imagined. So I think, that's what I'm saying. We gotta be able to look at our past and be like, you know what, that was a crazy situation, and I went through it, and maybe it wasn't necessarily the best thing, but ultimately you learn something from it. Ariel learned something from her journey going up to the surface and, giving up her fishtail and giving up her singing voice and going through all of that. Yeah, it was challenging, right? She could have avoided it, but she would not have the growth if she didn't go through it. So you gotta take chances. Even though it may seem foolish, even though it may seem crazy, you gotta take chances, right? So that's going to do it for your daily astrology horoscope. I trust that this message will assist you on your journey today. If you did enjoy this, please like, share, and subscribe. I definitely appreciate it. If you'd like to have a personal reading with me, beloved, you can follow the link in the description below to my website, jphoenix.com. But as always, y'all take care, stay blessed, have a wonderful Tuesday. I will see you all in the next video. Peace.